everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a version of this headband bow, and basically this is one of the ones that you can sit in the hair and then you sort of wrap it around. So fingers crossed, I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, but the idea is you put the headband on the head like that and the bow sits at the back. And then you can take a couple of bits of the side hair and wrap them round the ribbon piece. And then I'll show you what it looks like in a second once I've done. Had to go and pinch my housemate's Winter Soldier cosplay wig so I could show you properly, because I tried to film it on my own hair. But I can't take a picture of the back of my head. Well, at least I'm not until my housemate's back and he can do it for me. So let's just twine it round. There you go. So there's the bow in the hair. And this is what it looks like wrapped in the hair. So like that. There you go. Just put my tails down nicely. So there you go. Looks super cute. Looks even nicer on an actual real head than it does my housemate's Winter Soldier cosplay wig. So this is obviously the headband with the bow, so it's like a wrapping headband, and this one is a lace overlay tails down bow. Now, I'm not going to use this bow in the tutorial. I have actually pre-made a laced overlay simple loop bow, so I'll put that in the description below just to save time. I'm just going to wrap the headband, show you how to attach the straps and the bow to the headband, and obviously that'll save us some time rather than watching me for like 20-40 minutes sorting it out slowly, so you can all see what's happening. Now I have a 15mm band and I've purposely done it black so you can see. I've chosen the black headband so you can see the gaps and the fact that I'm not having gaps when I do mine. You will need 2 pieces 30cm for the loops of your headband wrap. And you'll need roughly 1.5 meters, but I tend to just keep my ribbon on its wrap or like on its length, so that I've got enough to wrap the whole headband, because obviously some you need more, some you need less on. So I just keep it on its roll, or like I said, I have like 2-3 meters of length, so you just can keep wrapping nicely. Okay, so the first one wrap you want to do is, I always angle the first one so it's beneath, and you want it so it's just a little bit above your headband. Okay, I'm just going to put a tiny dot of glue on the back. So just on the inner there. And again, I'm just going to leave that little bit over. And then we wrap round, so that goes across. And again, you just want a dot of glue over the front. And I don't actually use much glue when wrapping my headband, just to start and finish, and every few loops just to keep everything in place. I go across the front so that that end's completely covered. And then from the back, the main thing is you don't want to be wrapping on top of each other. You want to be wrapping directly above, so that you always have, other than that first wrap up, from there, other than that first loop, round. So when you go up next, you want it directly on top, like this. You don't want any any gaps at all. I'm just going to squish that a little bit so it's, just get that round. I don't want that one. I will layer that one just a little bit so it's not. Okay. So just layer the first one so you've got no gap at all. And then you just keep wrapping around, and you want your edges to completely be against each other, front and back, because you don't want to see any of the black headband peeking through the gaps at all. So concentrate and make sure, like I said, you've got no lines at all, and basically every sort of 5th or 6th loop on the back I just put a touch of glue across. And then you just carry on all the way along until you reach the other side of your headband. Same thing, make sure your edges are all nicely buttered completely against one another. No gaps at all. No headband peeking through, whether or not it's white, black, pink or green, etc. You can give it a little press down, sort of push them closer against each other if you need to. And it doesn't take too long. I just concentrate, especially when I'm filming. Another touch of glue. And I always do super thin layers because you don't want any bumps or ridges underneath there either. You want it to be as smooth to the head as it would be without the ribbon, basically. That's why I wrap it like this, so it's nice and flat as well. There we go, getting there. More than halfway done. Round and round and round we go. Sorry, I know it's not the most interesting tutorial. Well, part of the tutorial. And also, just so you know, the technique that we're going to do to attach the bow, you can literally decide which bow you want to put on these. And it doesn't matter, the same technique will work on any style. So if you've got a different bow style that you want to do other than these lacy versions, they will work too. That's the whole point of my tutorials. You learn things so you can adjust the technique and sort of make your own versions of things instead of just completely copying. That's why I always talk about technique and method, because that's the whole point of this. You're learning how to sort of transfer the skills that I teach you so you can do your own thing. Because I want you all to be at the point where you can literally make your own styles and learn how to make your own unique shapes and design your own styles that fit you and what your customers want. Almost done. So still edge to edge. And a bit more glue across here. Okay, round. I'm going to put some glue across the tip. Okay, and then this last one is going to go over the same as the original one. So again, we're just going to put a tiny bit of glue across the front. And you want to pull this over really tight. A, so it's still against the edge, and B, so that there's no lump or anything there. And then we want a little bit of glue on that last little piece here. And then stick that across. And then you can cut that down like that. Heat seal your edge. And you'll have just a little bit over. And then what you can do is curve around that way. And heat seal. And curve around that way. And heat seal. And then we're going to do exactly the same with this side. Curve round, heat seal, curve round, heat seal. Now the edges don't have to be perfect on this one because we're going to add the ribbon, but this is what it will look like. So this is the outside and this is the inner. So as you can see, there's minimal gaps and you can barely see that headband at all. And like I said, the better that you get at them, the less of the headband you will see. And once you get them perfect, you won't see any of the headband at all. So then we've got our two pieces of 30cm 9mm ribbon. And all the wrapping is done with 9mm ribbon as well. Okay, so we just want a touch of glue one side. Not a lot, just a drop at the top there. Then we're going to do this, the inner. You want to go 1/2 centimetre up this side. And then making sure it's on the inside, so that's there. We want a touch of glue, same amount as the inner bit. There you go, just like that. And this is looped round, as you can see. You want it the same height up as the other side, so that they're even and they're in line, like so. And then we're going to do exactly the same this side, the opposite side, sorry. Little tiny drop of glue. Start inside first, about 1/2 centimetre up. Take this side. I'm just going to straighten that because it's at an angle. Don't want that. Reheat seal. Tiny bit of glue. And again, make sure that this is the loop that's going back against that side. And there we go. We've got two loops the same size and they're the same amount inner and outer, like this. And we need a little bit more 9mm. Cut it straight. A little bit of glue. And I always start from the back move that side out the way so you don't glue anything. And you want that over your join, that side. Wrap it round, make sure it's covering the join this side where you've got the, okay, just put a touch of glue this side. There we go. Make sure it's nice and flat, same as before. Make sure you don't wrap in your other side. Bring it across so that you can work out how much you need to cut. There you go. Again, heat seal your edge. And then a touch of glue just there. There we go. And then repeat the opposite side. So always heat seal. A little bit of glue. Over there to hide your join. A little bit of glue on the front. Make sure that hides the join that side. Make sure that's out the way, both pieces are out the way so you don't cut it. Work out how much you need. Cut your extra off. Heat seal. Open it up. Dot of glue. Back here. Now, when it comes to this next bit, I use my needle and thread. You could glue if you trust your glue. It's entirely up to you. But what I do is I take it, both loops, you want to overlap them 1/2 centimetre, and then with your needle, I go up through the centre, and then take my bow that I'm going to put on it, and go right through the centre of that. Pull it up against the joined loop, and then you can either wrap round or stitch back through your bow and the join a couple of times until you're certain that it's 100% solidly attached and it's not going to come free or anything like that. So once you've gone through a couple of times, I'm going to stitch off in the back. So that's now nice and solid, attached to that bow, that loop. There you go. That's what the bow looks like on there. And again, we're just going to take a tiny little bit more 9mm just to wrap our centre. If you've got a lot of 9mm ribbon, this is a great way to get rid of some of it or use some of it up. The main bit with this one is not like cutting bits as you're going or like sticking bits to each other. So you sort of need to get your loops out of the way when you wrap your centre, and do it over your join, nice and tight, and then you wrap that as tight as you normally would, round once. Again, make sure it's going through your loop. As you can see, I've still got the rest of my yellow 9mm on my little, yeah, I have a lot of a single colour. I'm going to cut some of that off because I don't need all of that. Take me forever to wrap it all around again. So, wrap that round a couple of times, same as we always do. There's one. Nice and tight, so it's nicely squared off. Again, twist your loops round so that they're the correct way. Make sure you're not cutting your other loops at all. A little bit of glue. And as you can see, my loops were a little bit tangled there, so just untangle them. Just get my bow to sit nicely how I like them. And there you go, super cute looped headband, perfect for hair weaving. You can add any bow style of your choice to these, any style at all. They would be perfect for something like a bridesmaid or like a flower girl kind of look, something like that. Let me see if I can show you. And here we go. So this is how you would sit it in the hair, and you just sort of wrap the hair lightly around the headband, and then your bow sits nicely against the back of the head, like so. And like I said, it looks even prettier on actual hair. Thanks for watching, bye!